Welcome to Love and Money with Barbara Treadwell, where we explore the deep connection between our money and the people we love. Hello, this is Love and Money with Barbara Treadwell. This is a very short podcast to introduce you to another mini-series that we're going to have, this time on pets. I think that I'm the only planner who has a line item for pets on the cash flow worksheet. And I did this after a few years of understanding that if a client has a beloved pet, that there has to be an item for their expense because they can spend a lot of money on a dog or a parrot or a cat or a horse. And the title Love and Money is perfectly suited because people spend a lot of money on their pets and they love them very much. So because it's part of family life and because it's part of financial planning, I thought you might be interested in a couple of episodes that we're going to do. One of them is with Jamie Haro. And Jamie Haro is a woman that I met 7 years ago. We were on a very similar spiritual journey, pathway, and we were in a course together for 10 weeks by Zoom over the summer. And then the next year, that was 2019, and then the next year in 2020, we found each other on the same pilgrimage in India. So we have formed a friendship, and it goes deep. And you cannot know Jamie without knowing Rudy, who is her tiny Yorkshire Terrier, and he's 13 years old. So Jamie wasn't looking for a pet. She didn't grow up with dogs, but she ended up with Rudy, 2-pound puppy, and they have had quite a journey together. You will enjoy hearing about what they have been through together, and she has a great philosophy and perspective on what Rudy has meant to her in terms of her own growth and healing. Jamie is a life coach, but she's also a healer. Rudy is a dog, but he's also very spiritual and understands his service to mankind in terms of grace and healing and reinvention. He's been through all of her life events with her and gone through quite a few of his own challenges in his 13-year life. So I have wonderful videos and pictures to accompany that podcast, and I'm confident that you will enjoy this. Pets give us some of the greatest lessons on humanity. The other episode is completely different in its texture, and that guest is Mimi Winkler. And Mimi has shown, judged, and bred for 38 years and counting on an international basis the Bichon Frise dog. Mimi herself is a pit, but these dogs are something to behold, and you will enjoy also knowing all about the work that she has done and what it has meant to her and the lessons that she's gained in her own life with this wonderful, wonderful challenge and opportunity. So those two episodes will be our mini series on pets. But I also am putting at the end of the podcast a copy of our cash flow worksheet, and you'll see that it has a line item for pets. But the worksheet may be very helpful to you in considering your own personal family finances. I have found in the 43 years I've been in this business that very few people know what they earn or what they spend or what they owe or what they own. Sounds like a simple calculation of what you have, but a lot of people don't know. So it's an eye-opener when they learn about where it's going. And myself, when I got started in the business, I got Quicken as a program, and it took me months to fill everything in. And when I hit the button, I was amazed at what I spent and what for. It was very, very helpful to me. And when people get their arms around their finances and they get, and when there is a pet involved and we actually buy pet insurance as protection, and we set aside a sinking fund for emergencies that is just for the pet himself or herself. It's very, very helpful. So I put a copy of it at the end of the this short video, and take a picture of it and use it if you will. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you'll join us for these 2 episodes. Thanks for joining me on Love and Money with Barbara Treadwell. I hope today's conversation gave you something to think about as you navigate your own financial and personal journey. You can also visit barbaratreadwell.com to learn more about my work and connect with me. See you on the next episode.
The views expressed in this podcast are not necessarily the opinions of Barbara Treadwell, LLC, and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities or services mentioned herein. Unless otherwise specified, show guests are not securities licensed or affiliated with Barbara Treadwell, LLC, or Osaic Wealth. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should only be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.